And welcome to another edition of the Nightly News. Ted, lots I want to cover tonight. First of all, we have a meeting going on between Putin from Russia and Xi from China. If that doesn't scare the living bejesus out of every free-loving American, I don't know what will. And the other thing I want you to talk about is, and it's certainly not getting much play on mainstream media, is now it's proof positive. $1.3 million came right from, I believe, Rob Walker. He's a person that is directly associated with the Chinese energy company HK, I believe it's LTD, directly to the Bidens. And yet we have President Trump under attack for nonsense. Ted, scary times. Boy, I hope you can reassure our listeners some way today.
You know, more and more people are waking up. I've always been a hellraiser about the worst self-inflicted curse of mankind, apathy. We are sitting in a satanic hellstorm right now because good people, I'm not into politics. Well, then you can't be an American and not be into politics, because this is an experiment in self-government, the first and only one of its kind. And if you're not participating in it, the enemy will stomp all over you. It says, Don't tread on me. And conservatives that didn't vote, we ran into this around the country. That's why we started the hunternation.org and huntthevote.org, because the pillar, the profile of conservatism is found in the conservation community, in the licensed hunting families of this nation. And when we see that President Trump actually had the strongest relationship with our enemies, and they feared him because they respected him and they knew he wasn't going to play games. And then we elect this mentally deficient, strange, evil gangster Biden and the John Fettermans of the world and these different Democrat candidates that represent throughout their career nothing but conniving and scamming and oath violating and criminal sneaky activity, burning our tax dollars. They go in worth $100,000, they come out worth $100 million, because they're taking advantage of we the people instead of we the people holding them accountable. So we're paying that price. Right now, I'm going to say something that's very difficult. I've said a lot of things like Uncle Sam is the enemy. That's hard to say. That America is not the best country in the world anymore. That's hard to say. It hurts, because we're following the self-inflicted destruction of communist nations and Marxist nations and socialist nations. But the worst of the worst is that good Americans are still shrugging their shoulders and feel like they don't have a voice. When you call your elected employee and speak up, they hear you, especially when 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 30, 40, 100, 200 call and show up and demand accountability at the school boards. We're reversing the scourge of Satanism in our schools, of anti-education by the anti-education unions. We're reversing that because families have finally stood up. Now is the time. It's not too late. My hope runs eternal, Keith. I'm going to be in South Texas this week having the time of my life with great Americans and shooting pigs and nilgai and javelina and hunting turkeys and killing mountain lions and bobcats and coyotes. I'm so happy I can't stand it. But I earned that because there's not an elected employee in America that doesn't know what Ted Nugent demands. They all know what I stand for because I have a big mouth. I am exactly what the founding fathers wanted all Americans to be, a force of constitutional accountability to reckon with. And if you're not a force of constitutional accountability to reckon with, Nancy Pelosi would like to say thank you. And Michael Moore thinks you're a member of his fan club. That's really where it is. There's no neutrality. Either you're for conservative traditional values or you're against this Satanism that is overwhelming America today. So that's the bottom line. So once again, my friends, join me, huntthevote.org. hunternation.org. Make sure you're registered. We're looking at a Supreme Court battle up in Wisconsin right now. And if you don't vote for this Kelly, what's his name? Dan Kelly?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yes.
He stands for gun rights and hunting rights and freedom and tax accountability and safe schools and law and order. If you don't vote for that stuff, you get what Chicago has, what Baltimore has, what Detroit has, You've got to be kidding me, Keith. So it really comes down to apathy. My friends, please join me at hunternation.org and let's circle the conservative wagons and take this country back.
One last point and then give you the last word, Ted. I'm pretty active on Twitter, Keith Mark MRA. And I have people that write and just say, hey, look, I love your moose and turkey and deer pictures. I hate the politics. I'm unfollowing you if you say one more word about politics. Yet these are the same people that are sitting around their break rooms today or church or bowling alleys and bar rooms, and they're all going, it just doesn't seem right that Hunter Biden, James Biden, Hallie Biden, and some other unknown Biden business partner got $1.3 million from a Chinese company. Just doesn't seem right to me, yet they can't put these dots together, Ted, our fellow hunters. They can't put the dots together and figure out why the Bidens are getting away with these crimes. Clinton got away with campaign violations, and Trump gets persecuted. They can't figure it out, Ted. It's mind-blowing to me. Last word directly to our fellow hunters.
The licensed hunters of this nation unto ourselves, there's a bunch of us. There's not that many. 25, 30 million, if you include the fishermen and the trappers, probably more like 40 million if you really include the weekend warriors that occasionally go out there and dabble. Maybe opening day, maybe a trout season, maybe some bluegills for the pan. If the conservatives, conservation families of America voted en masse in a meaningful percentage, we would be the greatest country in the world. It would be about God, family, country, freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of individual happiness, energy dominance, low unemployment, productivity, work ethic celebration. And we're living in hell right now because so many conservatives are not engaged. So once again, somebody write it down. I love you people, but I would love you more if you registered and voted your traditional American values: God, family, country, law and order, work ethic, independence, rugged individualism, entrepreneurial spirit, man in the arena, work ethic. Huntthevote.org. Just come and join us, register. And I'm telling you, we have many examples in jurisdictions across the country where anti-freedom Democrats were elected, or scamming Republicans in name only were elected. And when the hunters rallied, we got real conservative representation. We have the proof. Huntthevote.org and hunternation.org. Please, or your grandchildren will be slaves.
Wow. We'll see you again tomorrow night, Ted, where we'll have another edition of the Nightly Nooch.